So I don't know about you, but last I checked, beauty pageants were for women. Now I know a lot of things have changed, and I was born in the last century, and a lot of what I know and believe is, it's questionable now. But I'm going to choose to continue to have my common sense viewpoint of things that beauty pageants are. It's for women. If most of the people in the beauty pageant are women, it's a women's beauty pageant, then why would the winner be a man? So first of all, this is the Miss Maryland USA. So this is not the Miss USA pageant. It's not the Mrs. USA pageant. So don't get the two pageants conflated. This is kind of a knockoff side pageant, but that doesn't mean it's still not of note or it's invalid. And so it was trending on social media. This story, you have Bailey Ann Kennedy crowned last Saturday. Kennedy will now be part of the Los Angeles competition for Miss USA. This is part of the Miss Universe pageant. So calling it a knockoff pageant, it leads to Miss Universe. So it sounds real to me. There was a lot of argument online social media as to whether or not this was a legitimate pageant. So libs of TikTok took to the platform to talk about Bailey Ann being a man who pretends to be a woman. And I got to say, by the look of it, pretends pretty well. But that doesn't change anything. Just because you can fool most people with your appearance living as the opposite gender, it doesn't make it right. And it doesn't mean it's something we have to agree with. Just because you're good at obfuscation and trickery doesn't mean we have to then say, well, because you're good at looking like a woman, you're actually a woman. That's not how this thing works. So Bailey has gone on the record saying that he hopes this accomplishment inspires more confused men to steal the achievements of real women. Okay, that's what Libs of TikTok said. His statement was much more PC. So Kennedy was talking about the moment of victory as a whirlwind because, quote, I knew it was bigger than me. I knew it was going to mean a lot for all the LGBTQ kids out there who might feel like they don't belong in a box like me growing up. I felt confident in my own skin at 31, which is past the old age limit, which is 28. As you know, Miss Universe organization lifted the restriction now so every woman of all ages can compete, close quote. This is garbage. This is not a thing. First of all, the reason why there's a limit on the age for a Miss Universe pageant is because of the word miss, MISS. After you're 28, you're no longer a miss, you're a Ms, MS, meaning none of our business whether you're married or not, but you are still to have some kind of salutation at the beginning of your name. What in the world would possess them to allow older women to join the Miss Universe pageant? You need to be young to be in that pageant. So Kennedy was talking on Instagram, showing off photos of the spouse in a U.S. Navy uniform, talking about not everyone having to agree with the spaces that you occupy. I actually agree with that. And I have no problem with this person living as a man or a woman. It's the participation in the pageants. It's the forcing of you to be in agreement with it. There's a huge opinion piece written out in the world that's actually trending that talks about the fact that if you have pronouns that you're using and other people don't agree to use those pronouns, then they can't be in your life. It goes beyond just living your life and being left alone with a lot of the activists in the LGBTQ space. What they're saying is, I don't just want to live in my space. I don't just want to, have the ability to live as the person I want to live with or be with the person I want to be with. It's about making you agree with it. It's about making all of us participate in it, give validity to it, and by extension, promote it. And that's the part where, we that's where we no longer meet minds. I'm in agreement with adults doing pretty much whatever they want to do as long as it's legal. I think it could be immoral for you, but I can't control you. But I do think that you trying to force me to participate is where it goes wrong, and I can't agree with that. So, that's the story. We'll see how far this person can go. Turning now to a story we've covered here on the program many, many times, your stove, your gas appliances. Remember, that's supposed to be a right wing fever swamp, something that people like me, right wingers, quote unquote, are always talking about in order to scare you. But Democrats really don't want your appliances. Well, it turns out, even though the Biden administration says they're not targeting gas stoves and other domestic conveniences, they really are. Daily Caller News Foundation is reporting on this, and according with a ton of other news organizations, everybody's reporting on it. They're actually definitely going after your stoves, the gas ones, your gas appliances like your HVAC system, your gas hot water heater. They're going after it. They call it a whole building electrification effort. It's a part of centralized control impulses by people who gravitate to government because that's a place where they can control other people. This is wrong. And we're not going to put up with it. I know for me, having a gas stove is something that I've had at certain points, depends on the house we've owned, and I've not had. I prefer a gas stove, and I don't think the government bureaucracy should have anything to do with that. That's the program for today. I'm always so blessed to be here with you on Salem News Channel. Find me everywhere, Stacy on the right. Have a great evening.